Hey guys, welcome back. This is week 34 in my 2023 Project Life album. This is the kind of the back side of the different page protector that I had last week. So this one has a little fold out flap on it because I kind of had the opposite problem to normal, which was too many photos this week. Well, not too many, but more than I wanted to include on this 9 by 12 kind of side. So I've printed some extra photos and they're going to go on the inside of the folded piece of the page protector. This page protector does fold the opposite way, but I needed it for this week. So I kind of just refolded it and used a bone folder to sharpen the crease. It's still not totally sharp, but like it still wants to fold open. But I think once it has some weight in it with these cards, it will be perfectly fine once it's in an album. So it's got three 4x6 pockets, two of which I have filled with 4x6 photos. I don't get as many chances to use the 4x6 photos as I used to. I am using an older kit from Studio Calico. This one had a September, I'm guessing it's September 2022. There's a bit of green in here. I've got those green alphas. I'm kind of determined to use the pieces this week that I probably wouldn't normally pick. So we've got little plastic pieces again, tiny little plastic smiley faces. And each one of these has like that plastic coating on top of it. So this took a while. I decided I would use as many as I could in one go. This is a photo from our Friday night date night, looking over the city lights. I decided since there was so much kind of dark space in this photo, I would lighten it up a bit, add a little bit of color, just to kind of go with the rest of my photos. This week was actually, I guess, maybe the first kind of week of spring. And so the flowers were blooming and I was outside taking photos of those flowers blooming. So I've got some colorful photos as well as kind of some darker ones. So I added a strip of double-sided adhesive and then just very tediously unpeeled the plastic off all of those little faces and popped them down in a colorful row. You can kind of see the tape behind it. I'm not super bothered by it. That was just the quick and easy alternative to individually running them through my Xyron machine. They had this really lovely pop of color and I purposefully made sure to add some green ones in there so that when I added these green alphas to this absolutely perfect 3x4 card, this couldn't have worked out better if I planned it. I don't need to use the E's. I'm just going to spell out 34 because there are no numbers on the sheet. But it just ties all of those little bits of green together. I mean, there's a few pops of green in the photos, just in some of the leaves, not a whole lot. But I did kind of like adding all the colors on the spread. I've also added like a yellow quote card down the bottom. I'm going to do my journaling on the inside of this fold out. So I just added this really pretty yellow quote. I loved the quote, but also loved the yellow to kind of draw attention to my yellow daffodil photo. So there were a few little die cutty pieces in here and I'm going to use one of them to stamp. These are the days, which they are. Love these days. I love spring, definitely my favorite month, despite the horrendous hay fever. And this was the perfect kind of size to fit this larger stamp. I could have stamped it directly on the photo, but the background was a little bit kind of busy. I don't think it would have stood out as well. Plus I get an extra little pop of green on there. Look at me trying to add all the green. This card was a bit different because I had my two usual photos. I wouldn't normally put them sort of off-centered like that, but because it had a sentiment that I wanted to cover up, I just put one at the top and the bottom and then joined them both with one of the chipboard stickers. So on the inside of the fold here, I've got 6 more 3x4 spots and a bunch more photos. I'm going to add my journaling in that middle card there, and I just added a couple of patterns, really basic patterns. I kind of wanted to keep these a little bit lighter and brighter. The photos on the inside of the fold are a little bit less colourful. My sushi photo is still quite colourful. The rest of them are a little bit more neutral. One, because my cats are kind of neutral, and two, because there was a really badly lit photo of Shane with the cats. So I did turn that specifically black and white just because I can't stand that kind of yellowy green cast that overhead lighting gives my photos. The stamp set was pretty cool, and this set it had a bunch of arrows. I thought that would be perfect, except the arrow, when I pulled it off the sheet, kind of went the wrong way. So I rebent it on the block. It's not perfect, but it definitely points in the right direction this time. You don't do any damage to your stamp that way. The little arrow head is slightly warped just because the line comes out of it kind of the wrong way, but I was happy that I could manage to get the arrow working the right way in my photo. And then for Shane's black and white photo, I added a little pop of yellow with another one of those die cut pieces, and I'm going to layer up a few stamps just to give it a kind of a sentiment. It's not really a title, it's just kind of a filler piece to add a little bit of color, to be honest. I'm going to put all of my journaling on one card. I'm going to do that kind of list style as well, because the card that I picked out says my very favorite things today, and I'm not saying today, it's probably going to be more like my favorite things this week. I'm just going to do the same thing that I've been doing for a while now. I kind of like it, printing on the matte labels. I just measure out the size that I want. I've got a template that I downloaded from Avery, and I just keep that open in Photoshop and place it where I need to place it. So I'm only printing on the actual piece of the paper that I need to, and then I know where that is for next time, so that I can use the whole sheet. And I just run that sheet through my printer several times. If you make sure that you start from the bottom up, your printer should still grab the paper until it gets right to the very end. So I've measured out 3 little pieces, and I'm going to adhere them down. I started off by peeling all of the backing off and then struggled a little bit. So I got smarter, just peel off one tiny little corner and then place it where it needs to go, and then peel the backing off. That worked much better. You can see here, and then you can line it up and not worry about it re-sticking to anything. But it really, you honestly cannot see this sticker paper at all once you have stuck it down. It's a godsend. It's got to be my favorite Project Life supply this year. If you are not a handwriter like me, it makes life very easy. That's it. That's my extra big week 34. I gotta say, I'm missing the 12 by 12s at this point. I'm getting a few more photos and needing a few more spots for them. So I might have to put in a couple of more of these kind of folded pages just to give me a little bit of space. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.